What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another pre-market live stream here today. Thank you guys, as always, for tuning in. All right, let's see what's going on, Stefan, the pickle, Gene. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another day here. Is the stream seems a little bit laggy here today? It seems like. All right, I think we're good. Yeah, I'm trying something new here, trying to stream on actually two places at once here today. I don't know if it's working out well or not. We'll see. Yeah, we're definitely glitching. Let me do something here. Okay, I took one of them off. All right, so now it should be better. I think, yeah, I was trying to do two things at once, wasn't working out so well, so good morning, everybody. But yeah, I was streaming to Twitch at the same time, but it seemed like it was just a little laggy. I'm running so many things here at once that I'll still have to play around with that to get it going. But I will be doing that too. I will be streaming to Twitch, and I am thinking in the future. It's just that I do so many things, and I trade during the day, and then all the other things I have to do. It's hard for me to find the appropriate time to stream to Twitch at the same time, but I will be doing that in the future. I'll probably take the approach of doing like some nighttime streams there where we kind of just hop on Twitch and just kind of hang out rather than, being so business oriented towards trading stocks. Is going to be more of a time to actually kind of hang out, interact with people, look at some stocks, joke, talk about some other things, new ideas. So it's going to be more of like a fun Twitch. I have fun here, but it's going to be more of like a fun, different stream, kind of give it a different feel. We're going to play around with that a little bit. So haven't really started doing it on Twitch, but I will in the future. I'll probably maybe do some more weekend streams there, things like that. But it'll be something to dive into in the future and test out there. And by the way, here you go, ladies and gentlemen. So it's finally got them done. Finally did get the t-shirts made. Right now, we don't have a portal to actually purchase any t-shirts or give them out to anybody. That will be done in the near future. How soon, I couldn't tell you. Again, I take baby steps towards everything so I can get everything in order. So there's a lot of different changes, new websites, new videos, and back-end like business things that we're doing. So anyways, t-shirts are made. Actually, one second. Hold on. So we only got a few. I don't want to say we got a few. We got over 100 made just so I could test out this company. They have really good prices near me. So there's another one, the black one. Then you have the white one, black, white, black, white. So we did just, me and my buddy went over to a shop over in Ypsilanti, Michigan. We found this print place. They do so far, from what I could tell, they do a really good job. So I didn't want to invest too much money into the shirts and the products until I knew exactly, what I was going to get. And see what kind of quality they could do. So far they did a really good job. So we're probably going to move forward with them, get some hats and other cool things like that. So when there's a portal that you guys can like view them at, we're not going to only make BRT shirts, but we'll make some other cool, funny like stock trading shirts, like Do You Even Trade, Bro? Random stuff. Who knows? So anyways, figured I'd show you those guys. Pretty cool. So pretty happy about that. It turned out really well. Yeah, I'm gonna need way more than 100, but I just wanted to check them out first, see how they did as far as doing before we give them 1,000 t-shirts and then we print them like, wow, these suck, so had to check that out first. All right, let's get over to the next screen here, guys. All right, guys, here you are. There's the next screen. So I'm really only, the stream didn't update. I apologize, guys, but that didn't update. Give me a second here. One second. Not the stream didn't update. I just didn't do my job correctly is all. 1 second. Okay. 1 second. I'm just messing around now. Oh, I don't want to go there. Copy and then All right, there we are. Sorry about that. So I didn't update the stream right. So now it's all correct. So those are the three stocks I'll be focusing on, which you can also look up here. And then all the stocks over here on the left or the right, whatever side that might be. Those are the stocks gapping up and down. So you can take your time, write those down however you please, choose to do so. Stay calm and trade stocks. No FOMO. Right? So I mean, I'll talk about that. What's up, Tesla 3? What's going on, my man? So with Netflix, so for those of you that maybe are in our chat room, our premium service, I did send out an alert to watch a Netflix long, which ended up turning into a flop, and I realized that over the weekend. I analyzed the chart even more, so I did jump the gun a little early on the Netflix long swing that I alerted as well. You can see it's gapping down today, so it didn't work out too well, but I did hedge that position. So I did hedge my long position with short option contracts. So even if it went against me, I would still make some money on the downside. So right now I am down. I lost 700 on the swing. I took a big position. I was playing some Fibonacci retracement, so I lost 700 on the swing trade for Netflix, but I also hedged one option contract short. So by the time the market opens, that should offset my losses to maybe bring me down to like a $400 loss. Maybe a 300. If Netflix really goes down, I'll probably offset the loss entirely and probably just break even altogether on that whole trade. So I haven't talked too much about hedging positions on our channel or anything like that. In general, it's kind of advanced in a way. You kind of have to know what you're doing a little bit more. So anywho, we can go forward and look into the next screen here. So give me just a second. I know, I pumped Netflix. It gapped down. That's what changed. It gapped down, and then I looked at the stock and I realized that it looked like there was people were adding in short. Like short sellers were accumulating short positions over the past couple days on Netflix, which I didn't notice until I had already been long on it. All right, so here we are. So we'll talk about first one, AMRN, just because like everyone's dying to know what's going on here. So as you can see, AMRN's up really big. It's up like some odd 300% this morning. So it's up really big. It's still holding the VWAP, so it is still holding up pretty well. If you look at the news on it, there is some news. AMR Corp shares are trading up 300% pre-market session after the company reduced its cardiovascular study of Vascepa in LDL-C patients meets primary endpoint. So that's good news. So it looks like whatever they do exactly, it looks like they're coming out with some positive results on some of their studies maybe or trials. I'm looking for some more news here. Yeah, it has to do something with their cardiovascular study. It looks like they met their primary endpoint in as far as of maybe the results they were looking for. So there is some strong news here on the company this morning, and that is exactly why the company is trading up. Yeah, I mean, that's good news, right? So it's up really big. A lot of people are going to be watching it long. I'll be watching it short and long. So considering it's up 300%, that's a pretty great gain on the day. So I wouldn't be the one to get all greedy and think this thing's going to just absolutely run, another 200% on the day. So I am watching it short. I am watching it short bias, considering it's not breaking up right now. It is channeling, in the end of a pattern. So it's possible we'll see something like this, and it could break like that and start running. But I'm also playing the downside as well. So if it does that, I can capture the short on the downside. So I am watching it short and I'm watching it long. It just kind of depends on how I think it's going to go and how it starts to perform when we get towards the opening bell, and then when the market does open. Just know, with it being up 300 to 330% this morning, it does have a lot of downside risk to it, right? I mean, it went from $3 to $12.50. There's a lot of downside risk involved with this stock. So I am very, optimistic thinking that it can go up, but I'm also very biased towards a first initial short play. So something we could see, right? Something I would think would be more appropriate to see on this stock here this morning would be, like a channel, maybe kind of fiddles around and then it drops, and then maybe later in the day we'll see like a cup and then it breaks out, right? Like if this thing were to go higher today, if it were going to push higher, I would be more on the scenario that we would see it at least pull back first, consolidate, put in a higher low, then it maybe starts going, sees resistance up here at the highs, pulls back, and then it maybe goes again, right? And that right there would be a cup and handle. And I didn't spell any of that right, so just screw that, right? So I am more optimistic on a short first than maybe a run on it. So if we were to look to get in like any dip buy, right, you have to mark off this level of 1054, mark off the level of 950, mark off the level, basically you should be marking off the level of every whole $1.50 mark on the way down. More specifically, 1050 and 950, along with the $8 mark and 870. So there's a few more kind of key spots in there where you could maybe see a bounce or see some support as the stock comes down. But you guys know my game plan. I'm going to be watching it both long and short. I'd be more, bias on the short play. If it goes long and I know it's going long, and then I'll just take it long, right? There's always risk involved with trading, and everything goes as perfect as you want it to. But you have to be able to adapt quickly and change bias and understand when, things are going this way or that way, right? That just comes with practice and experience in trading. Did the market crash? Nope, market has not crashed yet. Unless something crazy happened while I've been looking at the screen. I don't think so. I know. I finally got the pop filter. I don't know why I haven't had it for... I don't know why I didn't buy it a long time ago. I kept just kind of putting it off. And I'm like, what? I was on Amazon the other day, so I decided to buy it. And then I'm also going to get like the little hanging arm thing. And anyways, so moving forward, we'll take a look at TLRY. What's funny is, right, what's funny is after TLY starts crashing, I'm like, now I'm thinking it's a possible buy. That's the irony behind it, right? It's funny that it's coming down and now I'm considering a buy. So I'm not crazy about the buy, but I am optimistic, right? So I'm only mentioning it because stocks that go through a bubble phase and then they crash tend to have really strong bounces. They'll bounce, and then all of a sudden, right, this is the natural flow of a bubble. It'll be a bubble, and then it's becomes super high risk, and then it crashes like we've been seeing, and then it will come to a point where it bases out, and then it has a really strong bounce, and it squeezes all the shorts out, and then anybody who missed the first initial run, right, on TLRY will go, oh, this is the time to buy it. It's starting to go back up. We're going to go on another run. Nah. Those people end up getting crushed because it's just a dead cat bounce. So the uneducated, or not educated enough, shall I say, or more of the novice traders, if they don't know what a bubble is, like Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin went to like 20K and then it crashed and everybody bought it at the lows, or as it was going back up, they started buying it. And then eventually that second, after the initial crash, we came down, we bounced, and then it peaked, and then it came down again. That's a bubble. That's how bubbles work. And people who don't know what a bubble is, or know that it is a bubble, or they're in a bubble, don't understand the way they naturally flow. And then when it starts going back up, they're like, okay, we're safe, we're good to go. No, you're not good to go. You're just basically putting a Band-Aid over the gunshot wound that's soon to explode on you, right? And then you're just putting a Band-Aid over an artery that's about to just burst again, right? That's all it is, right? It's just a quick little patch before it just gets torn apart again. So that's what I'm watching for right now on TLRYs. I'm watching for the bounce. I'm watching for the dead cat bounce, where I think we could see a move of, $30 to $40 to $60, $70, $80 a share possibly, right? So I think there is a possible good move in terms of a long play coming on TLRY. We'll just have to wait and see. I don't know for sure. there's some things that make me less, like how do I say this? See, here's also the other thing, right? This could have also been the dead cat bounce right there. From the bounce from after the first crash, we bounced. That would most likely be the dead cat bounce, but I'm still being optimistic that there might be some type of play in here. But realistically, that was probably the dead cat bounce. And the reason why that was probably the dead cat bounce is because I'll show you. Let's go to like a yearly chart. Let me take off these old ones. Clear drawing set. All right, so let me show you this. This is why I believe the dead cat bounce may have already happened. I'll show you. Ready? So let's go from just right here. And then we're going to do a 180-day chart. Ready? So in terms of like the stock as a whole, from like its beginning to its bubble phase, if we go into a basic Fibonacci, we'll see that from basically like the starting point of the move all the way to the high, you can see the stock dumped from 300 down to a low of, like what was like 150. Well, the 150 mark was right at about the 50% retracement level, and then it bounced, and then it rolled over. So we've already done the squeeze up, the first initial crash, followed by an aggressively strong bounce that came down crashing again. So honestly, I think that I'm being optimistic that this $100 level might have like some type of small bounce. Nowhere near as big as the first one we had after the first crash. We might have something. So I'm just going to be optimistic and put it out there for anybody that's watching TLRY, but I'm also going to put out there that we've most likely seen the dead cat bounce, and then you're going to start seeing this thing just continuously slowly fade out till it basically dies. So again, the reason why I think the dead cat bounce happened is because when stocks are in bubble phases or when things go super crazy and then they pull back super hard, they usually pull back to the 50 or the 61% retracement level, and then they bounce, in which you can clearly see that, you can clearly see with TLRY, right? It shot to 300 and it dropped. It bounced at the 50% retracement, super strong. Then we performed the lower high, and now we're going down. Okay, so we probably already did the dead cat bounce, but I'm just being optimistic, and I wanted to talk more about TLRY because it's awesome. So there's that, right? So hopefully that helps you guys a little bit. And then lastly, we're going to talk about Netflix. So there's a lot to Netflix that I was looking at. I can't give you the full rundown because we just don't have enough time for it. There's a lot that goes into that. Yeah, see, like it's already, I think it's hard to say. I could have made a mistake on getting out too early. There might be some type of retrace back to the upside. I wouldn't say that a retrace back to the upside on Netflix is too far-fetched. I might have got out of the swing trade and I shouldn't have. But I just tried to play. I guess I played it safer today and just didn't want to risk it. So there's a couple things I'm looking at with Netflix. So you can see it's right. Watch me. Oh, that's a Fibonacci. Hold on. So this is a day. No, it's a 180-day chart. You can see Netflix is following its trend up. So today I might have got out just a little too early on this and got too scared. We'll see. I can't say for sure just yet, but I might have made a stupid mistake. But you can see, yeah, right. So you see Netflix big bounce that we called, the drop, Netflix big bounce that we called, Netflix coming down again. I was playing the idea we might have another bounce, and then we might go like that, right? That's what I was hoping for, that pattern right there. And I think I might have. So here's the deal. It's not that I really got out too early. It's also, too, that maybe I just had the wrong entry, too. So there's a couple ways you could look at it. At the end of the day, it's always better to play safe than sorry, and that's what I took on. I did today. I exited pre-market and played a little safer. So as you can see, that's kind of the pattern I was playing to the long side on Netflix today. In a hole, shall I say. But again, there's multiple things we could look at, right? I'll do it real quick, right? So let me do this 180-day chart, right? If we did 180-day, okay, and let me take off the news. We don't need the news, right? If we do this 180-day, I'll kind of walk you through why I went long on it, right? If we do the 180-day, If you go from down here, we do a Fibonacci retracement. You'll see that the stock was bouncing on the 50% retracement level, right? And then it popped up here. So then once we did the 50% retracement, 1 second, delete that. We'll do a Fibonacci extension. Hold on 1 second. So once we went up to the 50% retracement, we would then go from here down to there. Oh, I did that wrong. Hold on. Then we go from here down to there and then up to there. And then you can see once we do our Fibonacci extension from the Fibonacci retracement, we ended up bouncing right at 61.8%. Okay. And you know what? I think I exited too soon. I think I did. I think I did that wrong the other day and exited too early. So in fact, we actually might be setting up for a long still. It's kind of like wishy-washy right now because the stock is still holding within the 50% retracement right here. So I think I might have, now that I look at it again, damn it, Netflix, I think it. So here's another thing, right? I looked at Netflix the other day and so over the weekend, I got more scared on Netflix long because look at this, right? This right here, look at these couple days. Well, this is what we're focusing on, right? Look at these couple days here on Netflix, right? Look at the strong green candles right here and right here. Those are what we call share, kind of like, you know, and then they kept like getting bought back, right? Like that's a share accumulation. That's share accumulation for a move to the upside, right? And then if you look at these ones, that candle, and that candle, that's obviously selling pressure, but that also looks like share accumulation for a downwards move. So then that's what this move, these candles right here are what caused me to kind of, and a few other things are basically what caused me to get a little nervous and pull out of my position today pre-market on the long. Again, because this looked like share accumulation for a boom up. This looks like share accumulation for a possible slam down, right? So whether it got faked out or not, maybe I looked too far into it. I couldn't tell you for sure. But the trend is still right now upwards. But as we know, trends can break in a matter of seconds and be completely invalid. So trends are only one part of the story. So Netflix today, what am I doing? I'm watching it, right? This is simply what I'm doing. I think Netflix could be at a pivotal moment where we either spike back up or it rolls and then it just gets crushed, right? Whether those two outcomes happen or not, it doesn't really matter to me. I'm just keeping an open mind that either one of these two outcomes could happen right now. All right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's all I have for you today here on the pre-market live stream. So hopefully those stocks help you kind of help you decide what you might trade for the day, understand how I'm going to be trading or what I plan to trade for the day. Twitter. Yep, Luke, we already looked at TLRY. There's a small possibility for TLRY to have a green day or some type of green movement off the 100% level, but chances are it's already done its dead cat bounce in the bubble. So it's already basically hit its backside move, and you can most likely continue to see TLRY fade below 100. I had a price target for, again, if you guys know it, I said it on Facebook and even here probably like 2 weeks, no, I want to say 2 weeks ago, probably like a week ago when it was like at its highs. I said TLRY Boiler Room Trading gives it a price target of probably, $120 to $80 a share. We've already surpassed 120. This thing's probably going to go to 80, then to 50 for sure. I can almost guarantee it. That's how strong conviction I have in that right now. Did I say 100% level? I might have meant the $100 mark. I might have said 100%. I meant TLRY's down towards the $100 mark. Excuse me. I don't have shares to short on it, so like you have to have some other advanced broker with shares to short. The options really aren't in your favor to make money. So at this point, I'm not even really trading it to the downside. I made almost $15,000 shorting it on the crash with options. And at that point, I'm like, I made my money. I'm good. So Most I've ever invested in one transaction. It'd be hard to say, but at least $120,000 for sure. Yeah, I mean, well hold on, let's do some math here because I've and then I'll be hopping back to the private group here in a second. Um, well, I bought Netflix when it was close to. I mean, I've been purchased Netflix at like 350 times by 400 shares. Yeah, I mean, I've definitely bought Netflix 400 shares when it was probably around 350, so $140,000 in a trade before. Hell, I might even done, yeah, I don't know if I've ever done 500, maybe, but so yeah, at least $140,000 in a trade before. One trade. Oh, for sure. If I was able to short TLRY, I would have, right? So a lot of people ask me like, why don't you move to another broker? And it's because, well, the broker that would have shares to short on TLRY is so expensive to the point where it's like, to me, it almost isn't worth it. Like, I mean, yeah, maybe it would have been worth it because if I shorted like, a couple hundred shares, I would have made like 90 grand or some crazy number, but the fees are just ridiculous. So it's like you need something like that to be occurring all the time for it to make sense for me to have that, at least for me to have that broker, right? There's so many things out there to trade that it's like I don't really need it, so. Oh, for sure, right? People like, do you set profits aside for tax? Of course, you have to. Like, you don't want to go to jail. I mean, we all know the government's greedy and it's organized crime and they're fraudulent. Like, we know that. Like, basically, basically we go to jail if we don't willingly give our hard-earned money to criminals. That's basically it. For lack of better terms, that's really it. We go to jail for not voluntarily, for one, and willingly hand over our hard-earned money to organized crime and political criminals. That's what we do. So we work to support organized crime in the country. And some other good things. Sure, there's some good things in there. All criminals aren't bad. They have a good heart, right? They're not all bad, and they do have good hearts and sometimes some good intentions, but at the end of the day, you have good with the bad, just like there's, good cops, bad cops, things like that. So, I mean, taxation stuff, for sure, for sure. Anyways, guys, I mean, I like I said, I cannot get over, there's nothing more than I hate than our federal government. If people really wanted to know how to fix all the issues in the country that we have, it's super simple. There's one thing that you need to do. You need to take all the power away from the government, federal that is, and then you give all the power to your state governments, and that's it. It's that simple. Your state handles all your taxes. You pay no or literally as minimal as possible to the federal government. Everything becomes state organized, and that's it. And the only time the federal government steps in is in a time of absolute crisis. Absolute crisis would be like we're being invaded by another country and the country's at war. A crisis is not, Florida has a hurricane. That's a state crisis. That's not a federal country crisis. That's one state that's being hit by a hurricane. That's a state issue. The state then there fixes it, and they would be able to do so if their money went toward, but they don't pay state income tax, so that might be kind of a catch-22 statement, but that would be a good way of doing it, because if you allocate all your tax money into the state, they would then there have an abundance to fix those types of issues. But again, I'm not a politician, I'm just a guy, so I don't want to go to jail, so I'll keep paying my taxes. Anyways, guys, I will see you on the next video, so everybody take care, and I'll see you guys tomorrow morning and probably for a video later today. All right, take care.